The state's openly assigned priority to its own defense against the public strikes few people as inconsistent with its presumed reason of existence, which is that it exists to serve us. For example, in India, according to the Indian Penal Code, assaulting another individual can get you imprisoned for a term of up to 3 months, whereas assaulting a police officer can get you imprisoned for a term of up to 2 years. Why is one crime being punished 8 times worse than the other? One may think, well, it's reasonable to punish the assault on a police officer more seriously compared to the assault on an ordinary citizen because the assault on a police officer is an assault on all of us. It's an assault on the collective, and that person who committed the crime should be made an example of so that such things never happen in the future. To that I will say, are we now going to start indulging the thought that the crimes against different kinds of people will be punished differently? In this case, the difference is based on profession, hired by the government versus not hired by the government. Is that something that we want to do? If the magnitude of assault is the same in both cases, but when it is dealt to a representative of the collective, the police, it is more egregious, then you are viewing things through a collectivist perspective, which means that things can be done in the hope that it might be advantageous for the collective, but can inconvenience or harm individuals unfairly. What matters is the net total of the collective and not the individual. You have to crack a few eggs to make an omelette. That attitude. And then about the part of the argument that says that the assault on a police officer needs to be made an example of and discouraged more severely. What this is implying is that individuals can be used as a means to an end, that the end justifies the means, the end being the collective good and the means being punishing the person who assaulted the police officer more severely. We individuals are not means to a greater end. An individual is the entity that matters. Individuals just being a means to a greater end is the assumption in collectivist ideologies. Without getting into the debate of individualism versus collectivism, I think we can at least agree to this. Those who want to live in a collectivist society should be able to do so, and those who want to live in a society that gives importance to individualism should also be able to do so. There should be viable options for both. That seems reasonable. There can be options of different kinds so that people are not forced to be a part of a system that they don't want.
Thanks for checking out a clip from the Question Freely podcast. If you want to check out the full episode, the link is in the description below. Adios.